You can see everything that makes this watch work. The powertrain, the balance, the escapement, and all the little gears, levers, and doodads. And it has a tourbillon. Most watches hide all of this behind a beautiful dial and solid case back. Not this watch, there's no dial. Even the hands and support arms are skeletonized to allow you to see everything. You'll get mesmerized staring at this movement. On this episode of Adventures with Time. We don't really need a tourbillon in our wristwatches, but they are a cool addition to a watch. If you love watches because of their mechanical engineering, wait until you see a tourbillon. This Agelocer Sports Series Tourbillon is a relatively affordable watch from China that not only has a tourbillon, it was designed to provide maximum visibility of all the internal components of the watch through both the front and back sapphire crystals. I say relatively affordable because even at a retail price of $1,326 US, it is much less expensive than its Swiss counterparts. And I've seen it on sale for under $1,000, so check for those discounts. There are several models available with various additional adornments to the case and strap, including one where the case is square and entirely sapphire. This silver-black model I have has a stainless steel case with brushed top and sides with a polished chamfer and polished back. But the focus of this watch is the movement. That's why there's no dial. Even the rehaut with etched minute track, applied hour indices, and brand name at the 12 o'clock position don't obstruct the view. With no dial and no automatic winding rotor, everything is visible. Even watches with display casebacks usually offer, at best, limited views of the movement due to the plates and bridges that get in the way. Not on this watch. It uses this lattice work of support arms, which are skeletonized as are the hour and minute hands. Reminds me of the older Rector sets I used to play with as a kid. Yes, I'm that old. Not even a second hand to get in the way. I normally don't like watches without a running second hand, because those watches have no sign of life. You can't even tell if they're running. Here the tourbillon runs as long as the watch is wound, so you'll see a lot of action. You can even use one of the 3 tourbillon suspension arms as a second hand. This is a great watch to learn the different systems and components of a mechanical movement. Ratchet and crown wheels, twin power barrels, powertrain gears, the tourbillon. This is what is called a flying tourbillon, which is supported to the movement structure on just one side, so its parts and actions are visible. It has a novodioc shock system. Under the balance wheel, you can see the pallet fork and the tourbillon escapement wheel, and the 4th wheel, which allows the entire tourbillon cage to rotate. There is not a lot of finishing on this movement, just some gold-filled markings on the movement structure. Yet it is still fun to look at. One can get mesmerized just watching the tourbillon in action. Of course, in low-light situations, there's not much to see. Just a little loom on the hour indices and hour and minute hand. You won't see the tourbillon. I think it's actually easier to read the time on this watch in the dark than in lit situations. It can actually take some effort to find those skeletonized sword hands amongst the similar looking support arms. Let me put this watch on my time graphic to see how it's performing. Remember, this is a loaner watch which has been bouncing around in the mail between watch enthusiasts. With the watch in the crown down position, where gravity will have the greatest impact on the movement, you can see that over a minute the accuracy cycles from +15 to -15 and back again to plus. This demonstrates how the tourbillon is doing its job to balance out the effects of gravity. Is this a practical watch? Well, that depends upon what you want out of it. Despite this being called a sports series watch, I don't see many attributes one would expect on a sports watch, other than this rubber strap. This is definitely a watch that will get noticed on your wrist. People may even ask why you're staring at your watch so much. The purpose of this watch is to be admired, to appreciate the beauty that is inherent in a mechanical watch movement, augmented here by the tourbillon. You, as a watch enthusiast, appreciate the design of a watch and the engineering that goes into making them work. Witnessing each part of the movement performing their individual jobs and how all the components work together brings us joy and excitement. Don't you agree? You can see another interesting and innovative watch in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.